This is Steve Robbins. Welcome to the Get It Done Guys quick and dirty tips to work less and do more. When helping my clients change careers, start companies, or advance in their jobs, I uncover the actions they need to take in order to really live their life's full potential. Then they eagerly jot down those actions on a nearby piece of paper and never do them because they don't remember which piece of paper they jotted them down on. So one thing we often end up doing is getting them settled on an effective way to capture and manage their to-dos. As you know from my episode, Using One Master System to Organize Your Life, I'm in favor of using, a single master task list. Otherwise, you end up with a gazillion sticky notes and torn napkins covered with scribbles, and even notes written in ballpoint pen on your forearm. I'm kidding. You're a grown-up. Don't do that. You end up missing important tasks or working on the wrong ones. Keeping your tasks together lets you view them and choose your next action in the context of everything you need to do. I prefer paper for my task lists. Electronic ones don't work for me. They get longer than a screen and I never scroll down. And psychologically, I know the list is safely in the cloud being watched over by the benevolent caring eyes of the National Security Agency. So I put it out of my brain forever, which is exactly the opposite of what a task list is for. A paper list lets you scan the items more quickly. And when you fill up your current page or your notebook, you have to copy the tasks to a new list. Copying forces you to review every item and decide whether it is or isn't worth the effort to copy. Paper lists are harder to manage, though. My client yesterday noticed that the current task lists include buy new popover baking tins, popovers, yum, I just love popovers, as well as insert logo into client presentation. This is not useful. While scanning the list at work, the very mention of popovers fills my client's mind with images of hot, steaming, buttery goodness. What was I saying? Yes. Buttery goodness that no branding project can compete with. Home and work to-do lists don't belong together, but they don't belong in two separate paper notebooks. That's awkward, and it doubles the chances of losing one, having a panic attack, and ending up in the hospital. My client's solution turned out to be keeping both lists in the same notebook, but not by intermingling them. We wrote work tasks on the right-hand pages, starting at the front of the book. Then we flipped the notebook end over end, and we wrote the home list on the right-hand pages from the last page going forward. Voila! Two completely separate lists living in one notebook, just like America's political parties. My client can see just home or just work simply by deciding which side of the notebook to open first. Now that works fine for two lists, but some task management systems, like David Allen's Getting Things Done system, require many lists, one for each physical location or project. You'll still keep one easy-to-carry master notebook ready to jump into action at any time. That Match.com date might be really boring, and there's a lot of time to kill between the appetizer and the main entree. Each page is now going to be devoted to a single task list: work, home, zombie breeding camp, and so on. Give each page a header that makes it clear which list that page is part of. Enter tasks on the appropriate page. Order formaldehyde preservation tanks goes on the zombie breeding camp page. When a page fills up, find the next blank page, write the list name at the top, and continue adding tasks. Now everything's in one place, but finding it is hard. That's because the different lists are all mixed up throughout the notebook. Ancient paper history comes to the rescue with an awesome idea. The table of contents. Make your notebook's first page a table of contents. List your task lists there. When you start a new page for a list, jot the page number on your table of contents. Your table of contents page will end up with the line Zombie Breeding Camp 4-7, 16, 23, which is showing that task list is on pages 4, 5, 6, 7, 16, and 23. I use a Moleskine large-size graph paper journal for my master list, and the pages aren't numbered, so I write the page numbers by hand when I use a new page. Now, giving credit where credit's due, using a table of contents for a to-do list comes from bulletjournal.com, which is a graphic designer's explanation of how he uses a paper system to keep everything in one notebook. But even a table of contents isn't perfect. What if I'm reading page 16 and quickly want to see the rest of the zombie breeding camp list? I have to flip all the way back to the table of contents, look it up, see that the next page is 23, and then flip all the way forward again to page 23. What a hassle. To keep things speeding along, when adding a new page to the list, at the bottom of the previous page, write continued, and the page number where the list is now being continued. When I'm scanning page 16, I see at the bottom it says continued on page 23, and I know to jump right ahead to page 23 to continue reading the list. On page 23, At the bottom, I put continued from page 16. So if I'm on page 23 and want to back up, I can do that without having to go to the table of contents. Paper to-do lists are the shiznit. Oh, they really are. Keep one master list. And if you need 2 lists for home and work, keep them in the same notebook, but just flip the notebook end over end. If you need more than 2 lists in the same notebook, a table of contents will keep you sorted out, and continued on links at the bottom of each page will help you keep moving forward. This is Steve Robbins. Follow Get It Done Guy on Twitter and Facebook. I help people reach their full potential in 3 ways: by changing or accelerating careers, by starting and growing companies, and improving relationships. If you want to know more, visit steverobbins.com. That's SteverRobbins.com. Work less, do more, and have a great life.